Hello everyone, I'm Alfian and today we are going to solve the HackerRank challenge on the data structure section called the tree Inorder Traversal. And for this particular challenge, it says our hidden node. In this challenge, you are required to implement Inorder Traversal of a tree, complete the Inorder function in our editor below, which has one parameter, a pointer to the root of a binary tree, which is on the function right here called the public static void, and we are working with the Java 7. If you want to use something else other than Java 7 as the language, then go ahead and encourage you to do so. And for the public static void right here, it is expecting a output of void which is not returning any output at all, and the function itself named Inorder, and it has one parameter which is expected data type of node, which is on the custom class right here on the commented section called the class node, which has the property of data in the form of integer, and then another node chain within the left property and also on the right property. And since it is expecting no return at all, not returning any data or anything, then we can just simply print out our answer using the System.out.printf, just like on the yesterday's challenge. And the description right here, which is one parameter pointed to the root of binary tree, it must print the values in the trees in order traversal as a single line of space separated values. And for the input format right here, our tested code passes the root node of a binary tree into our Inorder function. And the constraints right here, we have at least one node, and it is inclusive to the 500 nodes, and the output print the tree Inorder traversal as a single line of space separated values. So we can use the printf method to print out the value, which is the property of the data right here, with the space separated values using the %d and then using space. And for the example input right here, what it means by Inorder traversal. So let's say we have node 1 right here as the root, because we are starting the Inorder from the root as the head, and we can use recursion since we are working with node chain. And 1 right here, we have the left property of null and the right property of 2, and the data, we have the data as 1. So the Inorder traversal, we need to prioritize the left first and then the data itself, which is print the data itself from the node that we are calling this function into, and then finally we need to call the right property or using the recursion call. So that is why the sample output right here, which is we are printing 1 and then 2, since 1 does not have any left property because left takes the priority, and since left is not non-existent, then we can just print 1 because 1 is placed on the middle, or printing on the System.out.printf after the left priority, and then 1 is being printed, and then finally the node 2 as the right property that takes the subsequence or the priority after the node 1 has been printed. And for the node 2 right here, as we know that we don't have the left property, so 2 is going to be printed. And next we have the right property of 5, but then 5 is not being printed directly. We have to skip the iteration to the 3 right here, because 3 takes the precedence over the middle part. And since we are already accessing the 5 right here, which is 5 on the right node, and we have another left node, and left node will take the priority because left node is being called first, and then 3 is being printed. And since 3 is on the left node, which is the priority, then 3 does not have any left property again, and 3 is being printed. And then the 4 is also being printed because 4 is placed on the right property from the 3 right here, because 3 on the left property of 5, and 4 is being printed because every section after the left property of 5 we have 3 and 4, then 3 and 4 takes the precedence over the 5, and the 5 is going to be printed right away because 6 is placed on the right property after the 5. So how do we do the Inorder traversal from the 1, 2, and then 5 being skipped first. 5 is waiting, 3 is being printed because 3 on the left, 4 is being printed because it is still from the left subtree of the 5, and there is no node at all from the 3 and then from the subtree of 4 on the left and right respectively. So they both are going to be printed, takes the priority, and then 5 after they are been completed on the left side, then 5 is being printed and then 6 is being printed later on. So how do we do this? It's fairly easy. We can use the recursion call. From the first one, we can use the Inorder again, calling the Inorder function itself again because we are using the recursion, calling the function itself again inside the function, and takes the root.left as the parameter of the Inorder call. And for the next one, we need to print the Inorder, takes the parameter of root.right. But on the middle part, we have to print because 5 is being placed between the left part and the right part of the recursion call. So that is the priority list. We can use the System.out.printf, not printline but printf, that takes two parameters. The first one, which is the percentage, and then d, and then space, blank space, and then the second parameter, which is the root.data. And the root.data, since root.data in the form of integer, then it is going to be printed inside of the percentage d right here, which is the digit. So that is the format of the space, single line of space separated values. Printf, which means it by print with a format, and you have to mind and take a careful approach of the code placement right here, because we are working with the Inorder traversal, and in order of the left property takes the priority, and then the System.out.printf is taking the priority before the right property. So placement of the code block is important one to another. And for the next one, we need to consider the edge case to check if after the node 1, we are checking on the root.left, but since root.left is equals to null, then we don't have to print System.out.printf because it is already null, and the sample output right here, we are not printing null at all with the space separated null. So in order to prevent this from happening, we can use an if check in front of it. If the root of the parameter is equals to null, the current root that we are traversing is equal to null, then we need to return nothing, return statement just that way. And then finally, if after the root 1 right here is being called, and then checking on the left property, which is Inorder root.left, since left property is being null after this function call, this is going to be checked on the root.left from the left property of 1, and if check will trigger right here, and it will return nothing since the function itself is called on the void. After we return this statement, the rest of the code will not be triggered at all. So let's submit our code to see if it works. So that's about it. Looks like it's all being completed. Thank you for watching the video. If you have any questions regarding this challenge, tell us what you think in the comment section. Or if you have any better solutions regarding this challenge, tell us what you think in the comment section. Thank you for watching the video again. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.